All right, come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Your hands can be knees, lap, one hand to heart, one hand to belly or baby. And just begin to close your eyes and turn your presence, your focus, your intention inward. And begin to pay attention to the sound of the breath. With a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Sometimes at the beginning of our practice, it can be helpful to ground us, to take that first exhale or first few exhales out of the mouth. So deep breath in, and then you open the mouth and sigh it out. And then you can return to the breath in and out through the nose. So for this morning, for these first few breaths, rather than have them equal inhales and exhales, I'd like you to draw your inhale about half as fast as your exhale. So like if we're going to assign counts to it, inhale for 2, and then exhale for 4. And keep that going, and you can have them as lopsided as you want. So a really strong inhale, and then a nice slow exhale. What that does is it really helps to slow down your kind of thoughts and your nervous system by taking a short inhale and a nice slow long exhale. Keep the eyes closed throughout this work. Keep drawing your attention to the sound of the breath, the sound that the air makes as it moves in through the nose and then out through the nose. If you want to make that breath even more audible, on the exhale, really think about you're pushing the breath out like from the back of the throat, but through the nose, almost like you're trying to steam up a mirror, but with your nose instead of your mouth, like that feeling, but out through the nose. You'll probably notice that that makes the breath even more audible. Before we begin the class, while you're still breathing here in this quiet space, just want to read a little bit of a quote here. Stay in the present moment, the frame you're in now. That's the only moment where happiness, joy, and love can be found. And remember to make each moment count. So let that be your focus for today, that this moment is the only one that matters. It's the only one you can do anything about. So make this moment count. Make this breath count. As we start to move into the poses, make each pose count. Make that be the most important thing in the moment. I'm going to get moving in 1 second. Continue following your breath. If the eyes have been closed, they can open, or if you know where we're going, they can remain closed if that feels good to you. On the inhale, the arms scoop out to the side. Hands come together overhead. And then exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more times like that, just an integration of the breath into your practice, into your physical practice. The inhale and the exhale, hands to the heart. And the last time, inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just bring your hands right down to your lap. Let's just take a little bit of a neck roll here. So draw right ear to right shoulder, and then chin to chest, and then left ear to left shoulder, and back to neutral. And then you take it the other direction. Left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear, and lift. Just follow that with your breath a few more times on each side, maybe 2 more times in each direction. The inhale goes as you go back, and the exhale as you go down. Try to keep your shoulders soft and out of this motion, so the motion is all in the neck, and the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And at the end of the second round, bring your head back to neutral spine. And now we're going to roll the shoulders. So draw the shoulders forward and then up to the ears, and then shoulder blades kind of squeeze together on your back and back down again. Do 2 more like that. Rounding up and back. Part of my movements here, I'm just shutting my devices off so they don't make noise on me. And now the opposite direction, so the shoulders blades draw together on your back, up towards your ears, and then around to the front. I find my elbows really get involved in this direction, like I pull forward with my elbows. And forward. Nice. Now reach your arms out to the side. So we're bringing the stretch down into the chest now. So open up the arms and draw your arms back. Try not to pop your rib cage too much here. Keep baby engaged to your spine as you open the arms. And then bring the backs of the hands together, and as you do, round forward. You can tuck your chin to your chest, and your head goes right between your arms. Keep that motion open. Exhale, back of the hands together, round. Inhale, open. You're making it like a nice C curve out of the back when you do this rounding. Press the spine to the back behind you. Inhale, open. Exhale and round. This time when you open up, bring your hands to your low back. Interlace your fingers. I'll turn sideways so you can see. You can stay right where you are. Interlace your fingers at the low back and then draw your shoulders open. Again, try not to puff out the rib cage, but keep baby drawn to spine and just lift the arms up away from you. The head is staying neutral here. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Release the hands. Tent your fingertips on the side. We're going to come into some side stretches now. So inhale, lift the right arm up. Left fingertips stay down and you reach over. Getting a really long right side body here, but sealing that right sit bone into the floor so that you don't rock, but you stay sealed to the floor and just reaching way up and over. Turn this into a rounded spine. Sweep the arms all the way around. Right fingertips tent, left fingertips reach. Keep sealing that left sit bone into the floor. Keep stretching through the left side body. Deep inhale. Full exhale. One more deep breath in, and then bring yourself down. Scoop the fingertips high, taking a twist this time. Right fingertips behind you, left fingertips on the outside of the left knee. Before you go into the twist, lift tall through the spine. So you're getting a lot of separation between your hips and your ribs as much as you can. And then turn and take that twist, looking over the right shoulder. Stay tall through the spine. Inhale, lift high. So the goal here is if we were to take an x-ray, your spine would still be straight up from the tailbone. It wouldn't be leaning to one side. Lift up nice and tall and then rotate in the upper body, looking over the left shoulder this time. Keep that long inhale and exhale going as we start to move. Don't lose sight of the breath. Keep the thoughts into that with the breath. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, the hands come down onto the mat in front of you, and you're turning over onto all fours. Remember, you can always put a blanket underneath your knees if you need a little extra cushioning here, or you can just have your knees right on the mat. From all fours, we're just going to do some hip circles to just sort of wake up the hips and get some movement going in the body. So you can just kind of sway side to side here if that feels good, just like a little C curve. Or if you want to really exaggerate this movement, get a lot of motion out of it, you're going to draw there's a little bit of a hip curve, draw your right hip towards your right heel, and then swing it around to your left heel, and then lift up. The exhale is going back, and the inhale is coming back up to all fours. So when you're doing this, try not to like lock out your elbows. Keep them soft and juicy here. And the head and the neck are releasing as well. Take it in the other direction now. So the left hip goes to the left heel first, then swing around to the right and back up again. Just make this nice and fluid, soft and juicy. This is a great place to come at any point during the day when you're in pregnancy, especially as you get near the end and baby's getting bigger. Coming to this all fours position and just swaying gently can really help to relieve any low back fatigue that you're feeling or pressure. This rocking motion helps baby just kind of move away from the spine. That and gravity helps baby move away from the spine and just gives you a little bit of relief, gets baby in a nice optimal position. So just bring yourself into some soft rocking and then come to stillness. Extend the right leg behind you. Extend the left fingertips in front of you. Think about gathering baby up to spine and filling up that space in the low back. If there's not a baby there, you're drawing your navel really tight into your spine so that there's not a sag in your low back. That not only puts a lot of pressure on your back, it actually puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders as well. So you're pushing into that right hand. And now from there, lift. Right toes, left fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. When you tap, don't transfer your weight. Just tap down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. So there's no weight on that right leg or the left fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, tap. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, tap. Bring the left hand back in underneath you. Draw the right knee in. But we're going to keep working that right leg. So we're going to do like what's called a fire hydrant. So we're getting into the outside of the hip now. So this work was in the glutes. Now we're getting to the outside of the hip. So inhale, lift the leg like a dog going to fire hydrant. And then on the exhale, keep the leg turned out and push the heel away from you. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, bring it down, but don't set it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, lower it down. You're probably going to feel this on the outside of the hip of the supporting leg as well, as it stabilizes you and keeps you from kind of tipping over here. Inhale up. Exhale, push. Inhale in. Exhale, down. Let's do two more on this side. Inhale. Push the mat away. Inhale. Draw it down. Last time on this side, and then we'll come into child's pose for a nice stretch. Draw it in. Exhale, down. So for child's pose, the big knees or the big toes are together. The knees go wide. And then you push your hips back towards your heels. When you first come into child's pose, I'd love for you to keep your arms really active here. So the hands are pushing into the mat and they're trying to push the mat away. And then you release your forehead to the floor. But try to get length in the spine. So try to put your forehead down about an inch further than it wants to go. So it's not a curling in, but it's a reaching out long through the spine. And then once you get there, you can let the arms release down to the floor for a few breaths. Give it several rounds of breath here. Full inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, you're going to lift yourself back up to all fours. Bring those knees, so if they were wide to the edge of the mat, bring them back in underneath the hips. And open the feet back up so that the feet are in line with the knees. Think about gathering baby to your spine. Fill up that space in the low back. And now we're going to take the work on the other side. So the left leg extends. I'm going to turn on my mat. You can stay where you are unless you don't have room Just want to make sure you can still see me. And I'm not going to hit my futon here behind me. So draw belly up to spine. Left leg extends. Right fingertips extend. And then inhale, lift them up. Stay for a few breaths right here. Keep drawing navel to spine. There's a lot of work happening on the inside of that right inner thigh to stabilize you. Same thing with that left arm. It is pressing into the floor, and there's energy drawing all the way up into the shoulder. Deep inhale, exhale, tap. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you tap. Keep squeezing the glute to lift the leg. Let's do 3 more. Keep reaching with the left fingertips like you're trying to grab something on the wall in front of you. And keep pushing that left foot to the back. Last one. Everything comes down. And we're going into the side work. So getting the side of that leg. And again, you're going to feel it in the outside of the right thigh as well. So the inhale lifts the knee up. The exhale pushes the knee. Keep it turned out. Inhale in. Exhale down. Keep it going with your breath. Lift. Push it away. Inhale, draw. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. Draw it into the arm. Exhale, lower it down. Lift the leg. Push it away. Knee to elbow. Release it down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, release. Once again, child's pose. Get a nice stretch on those hips. Actively push your hands away from you like you're trying to tear your mat in two between your knees and your hands. Pushing that mat away nice and strong. Head and neck release. Give it one more deep breath in here. Maybe you even open up the mouth and sigh it out. And then inhale, lift yourself up to all fours. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Push yourself back to your first downward dog of the day. So just checking in with some anatomy here for your downward facing dog if you're new to yoga, or if your belly is changing a lot since the last time we practiced together. Your feet should be hip width apart normally. If you're past 30 weeks and that belly is really starting to grow, you can open up the feet wider to the outside margins of your mat. It just gives a little bit more space for baby. The heels are pressing into the floor, the knees are straight, and the hips are pressing to the back of the room. Then the hands are shoulder width apart, and they are active as well. Just like when we were in child's pose and I asked you to push the mat away from you, that's what you're doing. So you're getting a nice flat spine here, and your tailbone is the highest point on your body. Your head is not drawn towards you're not like looking up towards your navel, nor are you looking towards the front of the mat. Your head is right in line between your upper arms. Take a nice deep breath in and a full exhale. Inhale, rise high onto the toes. Heels are lifted high. Exhale, knees bend to a hover. Inhale, push through to upper push-up. So the knees straighten and you draw your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lift high. Heels release. Heels lift on the inhale. Knees come to a hover on the exhale. You push forward to upper push-up on the inhale. You scoop your heels high and push back. Heels release. One more time. Inhale high. Exhale to hover. Inhale to upper push-up. Exhale, hips high. Nice. Now lift your right leg up, look forward, and step the right foot up to the top of the mat. You can grab your block if it's there. So your hands come up to the block. It just gives a little bit more space for you to move into the pose, getting down into that hip. So you want the hip to be in line with that front knee if you can get it down there. That requires a little bit of flexibility in the hips, and that the block can help us to get there. So once you're here, you're drawing your heart forward, right? So you pull your chest forward and flatten out the spine. You can bring a little pulsing in here, and all that means is lifting the hips up and bringing a little bit of straightening to that right knee, and then releasing back down. We're not at this point going all the way up to a straight knee. It's just like lungs breathing, right? We're just kind of lifting up and down, inhaling and exhaling. And if you are doing that pulse, follow your breath. Inhale and exhale. We know that this breathing, this pulsing, and can help us to stay in a position a little longer, bringing oxygen to those, and the blood flowing to those muscles that are working so hard. The next time you're down, stay down, release the left knee to the floor, and then start to walk back, drawing the right toes towards your face. Draw your right hip crease to the back of the room, and your chest draws long. So you're trying to get your chest farther forward than your block. It's not going to go there, but that's your energetic pull is forward. Keep drawing the toes towards your face. Deep inhale and full exhale. Walk yourself forward again. Inhale, scoop the arms up high. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Swing the right leg back around you. We're going to come into a round of push-ups here. So in pregnancy, if you're not pregnant and you want to do full push-ups, go ahead. We're going to do a modified version. So your knees are down on the mat. You're not in an all fours position, which is back here. You're forward, so your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. I recommend pulling your feet up, because when you do that, you'll notice the weight goes off of the kneecap and onto the fleshy spot at the top above the kneecap. So take a nice deep breath in as you bend, and then exhale, push the mat away. We're trying to keep our elbows close to our side bodies here so that the work is in the triceps, pushing the mat away on the exhale. We usually shoot for about 8 to 10 push-ups here, but you decide when you've had enough and push yourself back to child's pose. If you're still with me, keep those elbows tucked in. They want to flare out as we fatigue. And keep the exhale coming as you push the mat away. I'm going to do one more. And then push back. You can keep the knees together in this child pose, because what we're going for is the stretch on the arms. So just keep those hands planted firmly and pull the hips away. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Retuck your toes if you flatten them. Press yourself back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in. A full exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, look forward. Step the left foot to the top of the mat. It can come in between the hands if you're not pregnant. But for pregnancy, bring that left foot on the outside of the hands. So if you can see, my foot is a little wider on the mat, and then my hands come in on the inside. And then grab your block if it's there. So you're pressing into that back foot. The right leg is straight. The left knee is bent as close to 90 degrees as you can. And that left hip is down, right in line with the left knee. And then you inhale and exhale, opening up the pelvic floor, getting a nice stretch in the right hip flexor and the left hip. And then we're breathing through the work. We're not staying in the position static and forcing it. That's not how we're going to birth a baby. We're birthing a baby by being soft and fluid and opening and softening to the work that's happening in our body. The next time your knee is down, keep it down. Next time you're down, stay down. Release the right knee to the floor. and then walk yourself back. So you're rocking yourself back and straightening the left knee, but the hips are staying lifted, and you're drawing that right hip crease away. I'm sorry, the left hip crease. Got myself tangled this morning. Draw your left hip crease away from the heel and draw the crown of your head long. So once you get into this stretch, you should feel a pretty intense stretch on the back of that left leg. It shouldn't be painful. Don't push that hard. Try to flatten your spine as much as you can. Keep drawing the left toes towards the face. Deep inhale and full exhale. And now inhale, walk yourself back forward. Flatten that left foot back to the mat. You can step your block away for a moment. Inhale, scoop the fingertips nice and high. And then exhale, bring the hands down, sweep that left leg back. We're going to do one more round of foot push-ups. Let's just do 5. Get us moving along again. So nice inhale, and then exhale, 5, 4. Building lots of strength to carry baby and all the gear. Last one. Push yourself back, nice and strong, and then lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in here, and then exhale. Walk your feet all the way to the top of the mat, to the hands. Your feet are no closer than hip width apart, wider if you're further along in your pregnancy. You're in a nice forward fold here. The fingertips can be on the mat if they reach there easily, or on your block if they don't. Head and neck is releasing. Make sure you're not clenching the jaw here. And if you are, just open the lips a little bit, maybe lick the lips. Just softening in the mouth. If your feet aren't wide already, bring them to the edges of your mat. Place your left hand on the mat, and then inhale. For now, keep both legs nice and straight. Inhale and open up for a twist. So you're trying to keep your hips square to the floor, and the twist is happening in the upper body. And now put a nice bend in the left knee and rock towards that left foot a little bit. Open it up a little wider. Deep inhale. Ooh, I just got a nice crack out of my back. Exhale, right hand down. And then both knees are straight again to begin with. Right hand is on the floor. Inhale, lift up the left fingertips. Deep inhale and exhale. And now bend the right knee and let your weight shift into that right leg a little bit. And you can lift up and open up even a little further. Exhale, fingertips come down. Walk the feet back in underneath you. Inhale, we're going to come to a halfway lift. I want you to think about using the strength in the back, but also the core to lift you up. So it is not just your back doing the work. Inhale, lift halfway. Draw your arms to your side body. Exhale and fold. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat spine. Exhale and fold. Try to keep your hips over your ankles, and that might require a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. This time, push your feet into the floor as you rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's take another side stretch here. So inhale, reach high. Interlace your fingers and point your index finger up towards the ceiling. So everything is interlaced except the index fingers. Deep inhale, and then exhale, draw those fingertips over to the left. Inhale up to center. Exhale, draw the index fingers over to the right. Inhale, lift and open up the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Fold on the exhale. Pull the arms out to the side, overhead. Hands come to your heart, bend the knees, sit to chair. Once you get into chair, just bring a little bit of pulsing into this here, just like we did when we were in that low lunge. You can play around with this and see how you feel, if it feels different in your body. I recommend this pulsing for mamas. Just bringing some movement in, taking the focus a little bit away from the work and just into softening into the breath. But if you find that it's more comfortable for you to just come into a chair and stay there, by all means, you may do that as well. Keep breathing. I know the legs are burning. I've been doing this with you, and mine are sore, but you have the strength to stay here just a little bit longer. You can breathe through it. Those legs, the pain in the legs that you're feeling right now is going to stop as soon as I release you out of it. So just know and trust that you're okay. It's intense and you're feeling it, but you're okay. Take one more deep breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Just feel the release here. Inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Scoop the arms out, rise up to standing. Exhale, bend the knees and sit to chair. Just for one breath, you inhale and straighten the knees and reach high. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Scoop the arms out, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands come to the heart. All right, we're going to bring a little bit of wider squats into this. You can stay facing the top of your mat. I'm just turning this way so that you can kind of watch the work. So from here, you're going to inhale, reach high. Exhale, step the right foot out, bend the knees and sit to squat. And then inhale, reach away from the center. So I'm reaching up over to the right, straightening the left knee. Exhale, back to a squat. Inhale, weight comes to the left leg. Exhale, sit to chair. I'm going to take it the other way now. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, wide-legged squat. Reach into the left leg, straightening the right. Exhale, squat. Weight into the right leg. Exhale, chair. One more time on each side. Inhale, wide squat, exhale. Reach away. Wide leg squat. Weight into the left. Step in for chair. Inhale, wide squat. Reach away. Wide squat. Back to center. Hands to chair. One more time, pulsing in chair. Push your arms up behind you so you're really engaging the triceps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scoop the arms up, straighten up high. Exhale, open up and fold. Halfway lift. Go ahead and fold. Scoop the arms up, rise up to standing. Hands come to your heart. Again, I'm going to turn the other direction. Bring the weight into your right leg. You stay right where you are. Lift the left knee up. And then on the exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Turn it to face the long edge of your mat. The right toes are facing the front edge of your mat. And then your fingertips are extended. Right arm forward. Left arm back. Warrior 2. And again, bring some soft pulsing into this. So our goal is to get to 90 degrees on that right leg without the right knee jutting out over the toes. So you might need to open up your stance here. It can feel a little unstable when you first open it up wide like that. Just breathe into it. Extending fingertips long in opposite directions. Hugging the muscles of the arms into the bones. And now we're going to straighten the right leg and then rebend it. Inhale, straighten, reach the arms high. Exhale, bend deeply into it. So what would it feel like, mamas, to explore this a little bit deeper? What would it feel like to go a little deeper into that bend? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Flip the right palm. Inhale, reach back as you do, straighten the right knee. And then exhale, bring your right arm nice and long, all the way to the front of the room, so your torso is trying to get parallel with the floor. And then right fingertips come down, and left fingertips reach high for triangle pose. So both knees are straight in this pose, and the right side body is reaching out to the front of the room, trying to get it as long as the left side body is in this pose. The hand can come to the shin. If you're not very flexible, it can even come up here onto the right thigh. Just don't put it right on your knee. That's too much pressure on your knee. And if you're very bendy, you can bring it all the way down to the floor. But make sure that you're keeping the right side body long, that you're not compromising the length in the right side body to get to the fingertips to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And now we're going to turn this over. I'm turning back to the way I was on the mat. Turn this over so you turn your left feet parallel with the right. They're still hip width apart though, so if you were to drag that left foot in, it's hip width apart from the right. And you have it in close enough that both heels can touch the floor and both knees can be straight. The block is great here for this. Inhale, reach, crown of the head long, and draw the right hip crease to the back of the room. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, go ahead and fold over that right leg. Maybe the fingertips come to the mat, or maybe they still are on the block. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale halfway, exhale fold, scoop the arms out, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands come to your heart, step your right foot to the back of the mat, turn the right toes to the long right edge of the mat, left toes are right to the front of the mat, and then you start to bend really deeply into that left knee, making sure it just doesn't jut out, but it stays right over the ankle. And then extend the arms long. Notice the shoulders also stay right over the hips here. It's not a reaching this way. Shoulders are stacked. You keep rolling that left thigh out and open. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. So even though the legs are apart, there's an energy pulling the legs together here. Like you could draw that left heel back underneath you. And then maybe you bring some gentle pulsing here. Exploring your edge. What would it feel like to go a little deeper in that left knee? What would it feel like to go a little deeper in your breath? To be in this moment and not be thinking like, oh, what's that pose that comes next? I got that part. You just breathe. You just stay right here. It's the only work you have to do right now. Just breathing and pulsing and finding a softening in the work. Knowing that the thigh is working hard and it's fatiguing, but you are strong enough to stay right here and stay soft through that. Stay soft in the face and the jaw. The next time you're bent, stay bent. And now straighten the left knee, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, bend back deeply into it. Really deep this time. Inhale, straighten. You know you're only staying there for a breath. Go a little farther than you've ever gone before into this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. I think that's 4. I think that's what we did on the other side. That's where we're going to stop. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reach back as you do. Straighten the left knee. And then on the exhale, reach long first. So get that length in the left side body first. And then when you're ready, you bring the left fingertips down and the right fingertips high for triangle. That right hand is really active. It's not just up there to look pretty. It's doing work. It's pulling your right side body up towards the ceiling, and that gives the left side body space. You might look up to the right fingertips. If that feels like a strain, just bring your head to a space, either neutral or looking down, that you don't feel a strain in the neck. One more inhale, and then exhale, turn this over. Step the right foot in. It turns parallel with the left. You can be up on a block here, however high you need, so that you can straighten both knees and you can draw that left hip crease to the back of the room, flattening out the hips, squaring them off to the front of your mat, and the spine is flat. Give it a round of breath here with that nice flat spine. And then exhale, begin to fold over the left leg. Check in with the skin on the forehead. Make sure you're not clenching here, crinkling up that skin like you're squinting. Soften and release. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, you're going to turn your toes so that you're facing sideways on your mat. Walk the feet out a little bit wider so you have a pretty nice wide stance here. If you have your block is out in front of you and your spine is nice and flat. Take a deep breath in and then exhale. Start to fold here, bringing the top of your head towards the floor. And your hands can be kind of wherever they land, whatever feels nice in your body here. There's no right or wrong way to do this stretch. You're bringing your chest and the crown of your head as close to the floor as you can. Some people like to take their hands and point their hands away from them, their fingers away from them, and draw them through the legs that way. You can also bring your hands to your ankles or your big toes and really pull down, making it a really active stretch here. And then walk your fingertips back in. Inhale, halfway lift. And then keeping that halfway lift feeling in your spine, bend deeply into the left knee. You can bring the left hand towards the left foot for a little extra support. But you're keeping baby engaged up to spine, and the spine is nice and flat. Inhale through center. We know when we do these nice wide-legged lunges that we can open the pelvis like up to 2 inches more than if we were laying on our backs. Making so much more room to birth baby. Inhale yourself back up to center. Walk your feet in a little bit more. Let me just check my time here. Oh, good, we still have time. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, as you fold, bend your knees and bring your sit bones down between your knees. The elbows can rest on the inside of the knees and your hands can come to heart center. Your toes can be turned out if that's comfortable, or turned in, or somewhere kind of halfway between. Let your eyes close. And again, be in your breath in this moment. Really think about your yoga breath. Hear the breath come in through the nose and out through the nose. Take as much time with each inhale as you can before you release and exhale. Deep breath in, full breath out. Stay nice and tall through the spine. Try not to round forward here. One more round of breath. And then on your exhale, you bring your fingertips down to the floor and you straighten the knees. Walk the feet back in. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Scoop the arms out. Rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Eyes closed. Just going to come into a little bit of a balance series here. So weight is in the right leg. Hands are at heart center. Lift the left knee up. And then open up the left knee and place the left foot on the inside of the right leg for tree. To keep this pose nice and stable, you want to really think about pressing the left foot into the right leg and resisting that by pressing the right leg into the foot. And then maybe you scoop your arms out and lift up. Keep trying to stay nice and straight and tall. So draw all the energy up that right side body. Squeezing and lifting. Maybe you even look up here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. On the exhale, the hands come back to the heart. Take this slowly. Try to lift the knee back up and then cross the left ankle over the right knee. Open it back up so you see you're kind of making like a figure 4 shape, and then bend deeply into the right knee. Keep pressing the hands together at the heart. It helps to draw everything into center. It helps you're mentally focused to draw things into center. And that's how we balance. Find one focal point. Don't let your eyes move around the room. That's going to make you fall as well. Deep inhale. Full exhale. On the next inhale, straighten the leg. Lift the left leg up off. Left foot meets right. Forward fold. Inhale halfway. Really fill this up with your breath. Exhale and fold. Make some noise. Take up some room. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Coming into it on the other side, the weight shifts into the left leg and the right knee lifts. We build tree first. So open up the knee and then bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Now you really have to press that foot into the leg. You might find one side balances a little easier than the other. Breathe through the wobbles. And then when you're ready, reach the fingertips high. Keep lifting all your energy from the floor, drawing all the way up through the body and out through the crown of the head, like there was a string, like you're a marionette pulling you up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands come to your heart, lift the right leg, and then exhale, cross the right ankle over the left knee and open up that knee. The right knee opens to the side, and then you start to bend into the left knee. Keep bending and pressing the hips to the back of the room. So you should feel a really kind of yummy stretch on the outside of that right hip. Keep pressing the hands together at the heart. Keep breathing through the wobbles. This is my wobbly side. Deep inhale. Full exhale. On your next inhale, you straighten the left knee, lift the foot up, and then the right foot comes down, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Scoop the arms out. Last time, rise all the way up standing. Look up, open up across the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, bend your knees, and bring yourself all the way down onto the floor. What time is it? All right. Let's just do a little bit of stretch on the legs here. So extend left leg long. Right leg can bend in. So, wherever it lands here, it can be all the way down, by the calf or bent in closer. Really, we want to make sure we're making room for baby here. As you inhale, lift high, and then exhale, bring your fingertips kind of to the inside of that left foot, but keep those left toes drawing towards you. So we're making room for baby here, but getting a stretch in that left hamstring. So if there's not a baby there and you want to bring your chest square to the foot, you can grab the foot and pull yourself down. But my pregnant friends, there's no room there to do that. So the hands come out to the side a little bit, but you're still getting that same nice stretch on the back of the left leg. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Walk yourself up. Use the fingertips to help push you up. And then we'll take it on the other side. So the right leg extends and the left leg bends, wherever that is for you. Some of us are nice and bendy and can get it all the way into our groin. It's not important. We're trying to get that stretch in the right leg when we do this. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, and then exhale, bring the fingertips down on the inside of that right leg if you're pregnant. And then just let the head and neck release. We're trying to get your spine as long as you can here. That's what's going to bring the stretch all the way up the leg. So you keep pulling that right hip crease away from the right heel as you bring your torso forward. And then once you get into the stretch, then maybe the head and the neck release as well. And you just breathe into that right leg. And then walk yourself up. Bend both knees in this time. Soles of the feet together. And draw your feet towards you just to a point where you're comfortable and you're not straining. You shouldn't feel any pressure in the knees when you do this. If you do, you're coming in too far. Meet your body where it is and then push to like one little increment past that. That's where the work happens. If we always stay in our comfort zone, we're not feeling it either. So deep breath in and exhale, start to pitch the torso forward. And again, find that spot where like, okay, I could hang out here and, you know, watch TV. That's not far enough. And then take yourself just a little bit further where you really have to focus the breath to breathe into the muscle and breathe into the opening. And then that's your spot. But it shouldn't feel like a nasty strain. You shouldn't be huffing and puffing through the stretch. You should just be aware of what's happening. If you just keep pushing your limits that little bit, then each time you'll be able to go a little deeper into it without any kind of injury. Because once you have that injury, then you're back to square one, right? You've got to start all over again. So we just have to treat our bodies with respect and kindness. They whisper before they yell. If we're listening, we hear it. Inhale, lift yourself up. Roll yourself onto your side. Just going to do a couple of bridge poses before we move into Shavasana. So roll onto your side, and then from there, roll onto your back. The knees are bent. The feet are flat on the floor. Your hands are down by your side. Take a nice deep breath in. As you do, press your low back into the floor. Engage the glutes, engage the inner thighs, and draw the pelvic floor up towards the navel. And then on the exhale, lift the hips up high. So the hips are lifted and you're breathing normally, but you're keeping that engagement of the low back is pressing towards the floor, so we're not splaying open the rib cage here. The abdominal muscles, if you're not pregnant, are really drawn tight in. Otherwise, you're hugging baby to your spine. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Just sway your knees side to side a little bit to release tension. And then we'll build it again. So first pressing that low back. So like if you're low back, I can put my hand underneath there and then I press it down. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, pelvic floor draws up, lift the hips. We're going to stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften and release. Open your feet to the outside edges of your mat. Drop your knees to the right. Look over your left. Take a nice inhale and a full exhale. Knees back through center on the inhale. Drop to the left on the exhale. You look over your right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and a full exhale. Inhale back up to center and roll over so you can start to set yourself up for Shavasana. We've talked in the last few weeks a couple of home options for Shavasana. You can do legs up the wall with your sofa or an actual wall. Make sure that you roll over and bring one leg at a time. You can come onto a rolled up blanket on your spine with your knees opened up or your legs straight on the mat. You're laying down on that blanket. It's right along your spine. And then the knees, if the knees are bent, it's on there. Or you can just do a traditional Shavasana, which is just laying on your back with your feet at the corners of your mat, the top corners of your mat, and your legs, let your legs fall open. Your hands are at your side, but not tucked right in. Let them be out a little bit. And your palms are turned towards the ceiling. And then once you get into that comfortable pose where you're ready to stay for a few minutes, let your eyes close. Take a nice deep inhale and then open the mouth. Sigh it out. And then you just begin to turn inward. You begin to slow down the breath. Slow down the thoughts. And let your body rest. Let your mind rest. Just absorb your practice. Absorb the work you did. And notice how your body feels after that work. We're going to stay here for several minutes. I'll remind you once or twice to bring your attention back to your breath or back to your body. So if the thoughts start to wander, you can you can draw yourself back to meditation. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out of it completely. If you've noticed that your mind has drifted to a particular topic and you're starting to spin there, gently draw your attention back to the breath, back to your body. Stay in the present moment, the frame you're in now. That's the only moment where happiness, joy, and love can be found. And remember to make each moment count. Begin to bring some quiet movement back into your body. Maybe you just wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. If your feet have been up the wall, maybe point and flex your feet. If you're laying down, draw your arms over your head and stretch your feet long and together. Like a nice good morning stretch. Just get a really nice stretch on the body. And then slowly roll to your left or your right side, whatever's most convenient in the space that you're practicing in. Allow yourself to savor these last moments of your practice with your eyes still closed and your focus still drawn inward. And then keeping your eyes closed, slowly press yourself up to seated. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your baby or your belly. For you mamas, feel that beautiful connection between you and your little one, growing deep inside. You are on a beautiful journey, day by day, step by step, breath by breath. A journey that ends on that day when you get to meet face to face for the first time and start a whole new journey. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. I am truly grateful. I miss the in-person practice, but it's been wonderful seeing your names pop up and connecting with each one of you, just like we did before. I wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.